We are hearing Bhaktyaloka about Sangatyaga, giving up association of non-devotees. We heard how Sadhu Sangha makes us free from all those bad attachments to non-eternal things and bad association and bad qualities. It is only by Sadhu Sangha it is possible. Yes. I do not see any other method of purifying attachment to impressions except association of devotees. One must carefully give up attachment to objects. The householder has natural attachment to the door of his house. That is to say, keep his house locked. Then materials for trading, cloth, ornaments, money, the bodies of sons and wife, his own body, foods, trees, and animals. Attachment to smoking, tobacco, fish, meat, and intoxications are obstacles to practicing spiritual life. Many people do not have respect for the Lord's prasad since they are greedy for fish and meat. By desire to smoke, many have no interest in reading devotional scriptures, have no taste for hearing and chanting, and cannot remain for a long time in the Lord's temple. Attachment to these items is a huge obstacle in cultivating Krishna constantly. If one does not give up attachment to these items with great effort, one will not attain happiness in bhajan. All these attachments to objects are easily removed by devotee association. It is necessary to act to remove these degrading attachments by actions full of bhakti. These attachments are removed by undertaking vratas approved by bhakti to the Lord. Because getting higher taste, then you will be able to reject lower taste. If one performs vratas on Ekadashi and Krishna Jayanti nicely, Krishna Jayanti means appearance of Krishna, nicely, these attachments will disappear. By observing vratas, there is an arrangement for destroying attachments. On these days of vrata, there is a rule to worship while giving up all enjoyment. There are two types of enjoyable objects: those which maintain life and those which satisfy the senses. Food and drink are things which maintain life. Fish, meat, battle, intoxications, smoking, etc. are things which satisfy the senses. If one does not give up completely things which satisfy the senses on the vrata day, it is not a vrata. Vow, spiritual vow. So here ono and pan, ono means food. Here food does not include meat and these things. Ono means rice, dal, these things. That is why here fish, meat, battle, intoxications, they're included in the enjoyment of the senses, not for life. As much as possible, all materials for maintaining life should be given up on vratas, like Ekadashi, Janmashtami, this. According to the condition of the body, that is why we are fasting as much as possible. According to the condition of the body, there is a provision for substitutes for food, or anukalpa. Like, according to the condition of the body, means now we are in Kali Yuga. It is not the same as in other yugas. They could remain without food, but in Kali Yuga, life is in the food. And also those things which are allowed, anukalpa, which will not break fast, that is fruits, roots, nuts, milk, sugar, water. That medicine, important medicine, and if Guru orders or pure Brahmin orders that you take, that you can take, because he's calculating that for your service you will need, like our Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he ordered our Parangurdev on Janmashtami to take rice, because he had to send him to some another place for to arrange something. So he told him, you can take rice, you will need strength. So in that case, if you take that rice, it will not break fast, because bona fide Guru ordered. Bona fide Guru is direct connection with Krishna. So if for some service, something is very important to do and you need strength, then that is allowed. But it should not be misused. So here, as much as, yes, according to the condition of the body, or if someone is sick, then he can take more anukalpa, what is required for his bhajan. That is, main point is bhajan or seva, and the condition of our body, then accordingly we have to fast. Still, one must restrict even foods which maintain life. Restrict. In Kali Yuga, it is not necessary to totally give up, but you have to restrict on these Vrata days. Food which satisfy the senses are not anukalpa. Anukalpa means this, substitutes for food. Here, food means onno. Onno means grain. So substitutes for grain are those things, fruits, milk. They must be given up as a rule. Those foods which satisfy the senses are not anukalpa. They must be given up as a rule. For the devotees, one anga of the vrata is to practice restricting the tendency to enjoy. If one thinks that today, with difficulty, I will give up, and tomorrow will enjoy these items greatly, the goal of the vrata is not achieved, since all the vratas are defined for making one give up all attachment to these items by gradual practice. The vratas generally last 3 days. In this way, preventing the association for 3 days, gradually one can uproot the association by vratas lasting a month or 4 months, Chaturmasya. Here vrata means according to that proper following of Ekadashi, 3 days. On day before Ekadashi only 1 time eating, then on Ekadashi not, and on Dvadashi also 1 time. That is 3 days. Then gradually you can do like 1 month, that is Kartik Brata or Purushottam Brata, and then 4 months Chaturmasya Brata. One will be able to leave these items and habits for a long periods of time. In observing vows, if one who does not remember the words of the Gita, quickly that person becomes righteous, his renunciation is temporary, like an elephant bathing and then throwing dust on its body. That is, Kipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashvat Chantim Nigachati. If one practices Ananya Bhakti, one-pointed devotion to Krishna, he does not give up, he is constantly doing, sometimes he may do something wrong because of pressure of previous bad habits, but he regrets and begs for forgiveness and he goes on worshipping. So such a person can be free of all attachments and can become fully righteous because of positive engagement in the service of Krishna. So his renunciation will not be temporary. Like, today I'm not eating, but tomorrow I will eat double. Because he will get higher taste, so he will not want, he can give up those items which are only for the enjoyment of the senses. They are not necessary for your survival, for bhajan. It is only for enjoyment. So that devotees have to give up. Survival is one thing, and taking more than necessary or running after taste for enjoyment, that is another thing. Even on festival days, devotees, their target is not they will make a feast so that they can enjoy. No, they want to offer to Krishna and to that Vaishnava nice items. That is their target. And then they will honor their prasad. But it is not their premeditated intention, oh, tomorrow very good, we will make pakoras and these sweets and cakes, all this, to enjoy. Then that is also not correct. That is why you will see in the life of Madhavendra Puri, he offered feast to Giridhari Gopal, but he never took anything from that prasad. He took his own prasad, that milk which he got. Also, I heard Srila Bhakti Puri Gosai Maharaj. He was following diet and he was very happy to see on Govardhan Puja so many items were offered to Bhagavan. But he never took that. He took what is his prasad, that what is favorable for his bhajan, never enjoying. But they are happy to see offering. But elephant, if he will go to the water, he will be purified. But when he will come out on the bank of river, then with his trunk, he will again put that sand and dust on his body. So his bathing is temporary. Like that, renunciation for 1-2 days for some purpose, and then again enjoying, that is not proper, temporary. Those who aspire for pure bhakti should give up the two types of association, with non-devotees and with women, or men for women, or same, for the sake of physical enjoyment or mental enjoyment. Devotee association is very necessary for the aspirant in order to give up attachment to impressions. We heard those impressions created by our previous actions, they make our second nature. So here, devotee association is very necessary for the aspirant in order to give up attachment to impressions. Like when I was in Chandigarh in 2000, after Kartik Brata, then I said to Gurudev that now I will have to go back to my country, and I was sad. And also I asked him, what is the most important thing for a devotee to give up? Then he quoted this verse, Asat Sanga Tyaga E Vaishnava Achar. Stri Sangi Ek, Krishna Bhakta Ar. Stri Sangi Ek Asadu, Krishna Bhakta Ar. Vaishnava will give up bad association of non-devotees and this sensual enjoyment, man, woman, both sides. And then Gurudev told me, I still remember, that made impression on me. He said, but you will not be able to do this unless you take association of devotees. Then he said there are many devotees there. You associate with them, you serve them, then it will be possible. Otherwise, without association of devotees, it is impossible to give up bad association outside and also inside this our bad nature. Because of our previous bad activities, we produced this. Observing Vaishnava Vratas is necessary for the aspirant in order to remove attachment to objects. Ekadashi, Janmashtami, Kartik, Chaturmasya. One must not be negligent in these actions. One must understand the actions with respect and attention. If one does not undertake the actions with respect, duplicity will enter and all the actions will become useless. And sincerely we have to do those activities for the service of Krishna. Those who do not have respect in this matter cannot attain bhakti to the Lord, even if hearing Shravan for many births. You can hear, but if you are not also giving effort to give up these things which are non-devotional, then you cannot progress. And bad association is the worst, because it will encourage all those things. What constitutes association and giving up association? There are many doubts about this. Doubt may arise because if association means to be near a materialistic person or object, there is no method of giving up such association. As long as the material body exists, how can one give up being near materialistic persons? How can the householder devotee give up his family members? Even if he is a renunciate, he cannot avoid fake renunciates. This is another problem there also. Fake like renunciant people, they will associate with renounced persons. But there are fake also. Whether one is in the house or in the forest, one must come near materialistic persons for maintaining one's body. You have to work in job. Either you are under someone, but you have to work with others, or if you are boss, you will have to employ someone. It is not necessary everyone will be devotee. You have to go to shop. There, that man who is selling is there, and gas, and for repairing something, or shop for other things. So how you cannot come near any other person? That is not possible. One must come near materialistic person for maintaining one's body. Therefore, in relation to the limits of giving up association of materialists, the following rule is given in Upadeshamrita. Dadati pratigrihnati guhyamakyati prichati bhunkte bojayate chaiva sharvidam priti lakshanam. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. O devotees, in maintaining the physical body, one must accept proximity to both devotees and materialists. You will have to come near. It is inevitable, otherwise you cannot maintain in this way. This applies equally to householder and renunciate. Renunciate also he has to beg or collect donations, also he will come in contact. Though one may be in proximity, means near, physically, this does not create association with the materialist. Association is created by giving, receiving, talking intimately together and exchanging food, etc., while showing affection. This type of loving association you should not do with materialistic persons. Then it will be called as association. But only as much as necessary for maintenance of your body, for cooperation, for that much, but not these six. These six only with devotees, with love. When feeding a hungry person or receiving food from a pious donor, like householder, he will feed some hungry person, and one renounced saint will receive food from pious donor, which is done out of duty alone. It is not done with affection or love. It is duty. Though the persons may be materialists, there is no association by that act. If the person involved are pure devotees, there is affection in the act. If there is affection, association arises. Thus, giving to the pure devotee and receiving from the devotee materials or wealth is devotee association. Giving to a materialist and receiving from a materialist, if done with affection, produces bad association. So this is main point, whether it is with love, affection or not. And what kind. You will not speak to someone there what you realized about Krishna, what you think about pure devotees, about how you visited holy places. You cannot speak these things to him. And also you will not hear him telling how he went into nightclub yesterday and he was drinking that alcohol and that, and then he went with that lady. These things you will not hear. You are not associating for those things. Only if he's in the shop and he's selling something which you need for the service of Krishna, then that exchange out of duty you do and pass. Finish. Not so much talking and these things. Quickly you have to do what is necessary and don't speak your realizations to those who will have no faith and they will misuse it. And also don't hear useless talk from others. And not accept items given by them because meat is there, onion, garlic, alcohol. Some people, they have this idea. No, if someone offers you something, then you should take out of respect for that person. Otherwise, he will feel disheartened. So in order to satisfy, you have to take. That is not true, because our target is to satisfy Krishna, not materialistic person. So we are not taking those things which cannot be offered to Krishna. We don't want to displease Krishna. That is our target. Not that our target is to displease one materialistic person whose target is sense enjoyment and he wants that. So if I will please them, then I will be attached there, I will go to hell, I will have to suffer. I will ruin myself and him also, both. So you have to refuse those items which cannot be offered for the service of Krishna. Like some Buddhists also, they say, we will not eat meat, but if we come in some house and they offer meat, then we will take, because it is offered. So in order to not, but devotees will not do this, because they don't want to displease Krishna. Their target is not to displease that person. It will be harm, like drug addict. He wants drug, that is harmful to him. If I give him that, it will harm him. Like that, to support sense enjoyment of a materialist for the sake of not displeasing him is useless for him and for you also. It's harmful, both. So, if there is affection, association arises. Thus, giving to the pure devotee and receiving from the devotee materials or wealth is devotee association. Giving to a materialist and receiving from a materialist, if done with affection, produces bad association. Like Boshoda, she brought olive oil to Gurudev, and Gurudev was asking me, what is the benefit of this oil? Then I explained, you can use for eating, you can use for massage, for this, so many things. And Gurudev kept on asking me again and again, what is the benefit of this? And I explained as much as I could, but still Gurudev would ask. Then ultimately I was, I could have no answer. Then after that, Gurudev said, what is the benefit? It is given by devotee. We will get devotion. That is the benefit. Then I understood what is the vision of Gurudev. Here, if you giving to pure devotee and receiving from the devotee materials or wealth is devotee association. You will get devotion. Giving to a materialist and receiving from materialist, if done with affection, produces bad association. If a materialistic person approaches and it is necessary to deal with him, one should act as a matter of duty alone. There should be no intimate conversations. In intimate talks, there is generally affection. In this, there is association. In meeting a materialistic friend, one should only speak what is necessary, not 2 hours, 3 hours, repeating one and the same thing, all that worldly talk. Then where your mind will go? You will remember Krishna? No. So as much as necessary for your duty dealing, so that you can maintain your life for the service of Krishna, that much, not too much. Then where is the time for chanting? Where is the time for reading? Where is the time for arati? We have no time. No, I have no time. Why we have no time? Because we waste time for these things. It is better not to manifest an affectionate heart. But if the friend is a devotee, then one can exchange news with affection and accept his association. If one behaves in this manner with family and friends, there will be no contradiction. There is no association in such customary exchanges. Just as one carries on external behavior with a new person when buying something at the market, one should interact in this way during ordinary dealings. With pure devotees, one should associate while showing affection in such dealings. When one must feed hungry people, suffering people, or teachers, one should do so while treating them as guests. It is not necessary to do so with great affection. One should be careful, but one should caring, but not show affection. One should feed the pure devotees with affection. When necessary, one can receive the prasad they give with affection and eat it. If one considers such behavior with wife, sons, servants, maidservants, and strangers, in giving, receiving, talking, and eating, there is not bad association, but good association. If one does not give up bad association, there is no hope of attaining bhakti. The renounced devotee accepts food by madhukari at the houses of devotee householders with consideration of proper behavior. Madhukari means like bee. Madhukari. Madhukari is bee. Bee will not go to only one flower and there drink fully that thing, but from one flower little, from another flower little, like this, to many flowers, and then what she collects, she will put in that place and honey will be produced. Like that, a renounced sage should practice madhukari. Little from different places, so that they don't give any burden to household devotees for their maintenance. And also they will not become dependent or attached on one person. And also because if they receive, of course devotees will not think like this, but it is true that if they go to many houses, then so many houses will be benefited by offering service. Like Prabhupada, he told to his disciples, I need 1 lakh of paisa. Paisa at that time was 1 part of rupee. So he said, then they were collecting, means going from house to house and begging for the service of Mahaprabhu in the temple and speaking Harikatha and like this. Then, then one man, he said, Prabhupada, I was having good job previously. If you want, I can go and I can earn money and I will give this 1 lakh. Then Prabhupada said, no, that is not the point. I want 1 lakh paisa from one person. No, I want 1 lakh people, 100,000 people giving 1 paisa so that they will get sukriti. Not one man will offer. No. And it is not important how much one will offer, but the important is that he will offer for the service of Krishna, then his energy will be spent for the service, that will be sukriti. Gradually he will become a devotee. Then also when they made Bhagbazar Gauriya Math, then one man, one devotee said, Prabhupada, you wanted 1 lakh paisa so many years back, but now this temple was built by 1 lakh rupees. So you got so much. Then Prabhupada said, no, still my target is not fulfilled. I did not get 1 lakh paisa. Then he again explained same point. I wanted from 100,000 people 1 paisa to engage their energy for the service of Krishna. That is compassion of a pure devotee. He wants to help jivas, like prasad distribution, Nagar Sankirtan, people can hear the name, and book selling also Swami Maharaj introduced These things will help people gather Sukriti. So, a renounced devotee accepts food by Madhukari at the houses of devotee householders with consideration of proper behavior. One should know the difference between Madhukari and regular begging. Madhukari is this, to engage their energy in the service of Krishna. Regular begging is, I don't know if this is meant here, someone is having lack of food, clothes, and he goes begging to receive those items so he can live. But Madhukari is different. It has a spiritual benefit for the one who gives, because he's a devotee and he will use that energy for the service of Krishna. The householder devotee should receive prasad, food and drink at the house of a householder of pure character, one who follows 4 regulative principles. On one side, and also that is only negative side, but another side is he has to regularly, means he has to be engaged regularly in the service of Krishna, means chanting, wearing tulsi, following Ekadashi. This is all pure character. Our Gurudev told about that, Radha Mohan Prabhu in Gwalpara. He was pure householder, did not take any prohibited items, and always in the service of Krishna, Tulsi, Diti, Radha Govinda. Because you will find many, they're like devotees, bhaktas. They go once in a week, kirtan and arati and prasad. They're devotees. They have faith in Krishna, but they are not strictly practicing everything. They are sometimes smoking or illicit sex or something, and they are not regularly chanting, sometimes following Ekadashi, sometimes not. So that is not yet pure character, though we may say he is a devotee because he has faith in Krishna and sometimes joining the program. That is why here, householder devotee of pure character. He should always be wary of accepting prasad from the house of a non-devotee or person of bad character. It is not necessary to speak further on this. The person who has developed faith in bhakti by Sukriti to some extent develops intelligence by Krishna's mercy. By that intelligence, they can easily understand the essence of the teachings of the acharyas. Thus, it is necessary to give instructions to them in few words only. Those who have no Sukriti have no faith. Even if one tells them many times, they do not understand at all. Thus, Rupa Goswami has given teachings of bhajan in few words in Upadeshamrita. Few words. Because those who have Sukriti, they will understand. Those who haven't, even if you tell them so much. One devotee here from Slovenia, he told me, when he came in contact with Hare Krishna devotees and was going to temple and then starting reading books, and he liked and he appreciated and he said, yes, this is it. Then he said, then I gave this book which I was reading, and it was very beneficial to me and I appreciated and I could understand. Then I gave to some friends, like my neighbors like this, that same book. And they read, but they could not understand anything. Then I was surprised how this is possible. I'm reading same book and I can understand, and they cannot understand, and they have no inclination for that. This is the point. if someone has Sukrit, then he was wondering how this is possible. They cannot understand. It is same book. The thing is, the recipient is different. If one has Sukriti, then he can understand easily. If one does not have Sukriti, even if you explain so much, he will not understand. But we can help him gather some Sukriti by those methods which are for this. And those who will gather, they will get faith. Then with that faith, they will have more capital to understand, and then sadhu sangha and like this, then they will take up the practice and it will go on. So with each person, we have to deal according to his present status. It is the same also with devotees. They have different levels of understanding of Shastra, of Siddhanta, of Shastra, of practice, and Raganuga and this. Not all can understand what is Raganuga. I read one book, this Upadeshamrita, many times before. But then one Kartik, something by the grace of Gurudev, some glimpse he gave me by his grace. Then reading that same book, now I saw something more which I saw before. Although I was reading, but I did not see. It was not open. And I could not understand. It was impossible. But that time, by Gurudev's grace, I could understand. Because of that grace and some advancement in consciousness, so then I could recognize. Before that, it was impossible. Then the last essay in Bhaktyaloka is Sadhu Vritti. Last sixth item in the items which will nourish devotion or increase devotion. I have previously written individually about Utsaha, that is enthusiasm, Nishchaya, firm faith, Dhorja, patience, Tatat Karma Pravartana, devotional activities, and Sangha Tyaga, giving up non-devotee association. Now, I will write about Sadhu Vritti. There are two types of sadhus, householder devotees and renounced devotees. I will write separately about the behavior or vritti of the householder and renounced devotee. Though the suitable behavior of these two are separate, some behaviors are suitable for both. But this will be considered separately. The word vritti has two meanings, tendency and lifestyle. One's nature is one's tendency. The tendency generated from one's nature is the dharma of that jiva. It is said in Bhagavatam, Prayah svabhava vihito nrinam dharmo juge juge vedadri bi smrito rajan pretya cheha cha sharma krit. O king, those in knowledge of the Vedas say that in every age an occupation according to one's nature generally brings happiness in this life and afterlife. It's from Bhagavatam. So certain nature you have, and if you do that occupation which is in accordance with your nature, that will bring happiness. But if you go against your nature, all the time problems. That is why in India before they would make some examination. When the child is born, soon after that, his natural inclination, they will put money or book or gold or nice food like this. Then they will see his natural inclination. Mahaprabhu took Bhagavatam. Then you can understand. And later on, they the parents will observe, and other experienced persons in the village, they will observe someone's nature and inclination. Also, they will check in astrological calculation. There also you can see. Then they will engage him according to that. And that will be natural and it will be good, beneficial for society and for him. But in Western, now degraded, the point is only money and name and fame like this. So they don't see the inclination or capacity or like this of a child or young. They just say, yes, you have to study law or you have to study economy because they think that will give more money and that will give prestige. So they push them into something which is unnatural. That is why so much disturbance in society is going on, because different calculation is there, not by nature, but by target of the parents, greedy parents. Remaining in an occupation according to one's nature, humans pass their lives and can attain bhakti to Krishna beyond the gunas. Like if someone is Brahmin by nature, then you cannot put him to do some physical work like Shudra. It will not be beneficial for him nor for society to force him in such thing. Or someone who is Shudra by nature or Vaishya, that he should finish the law university. It is unnatural. And then they will take cocaine or some other drug because they have no capacity. They will take those drugs and they will study whole night and almost die before they finish that, just because parents, they want them to have that title. It's totally unnatural. So remaining in an occupation according to one's nature, humans pass their lives and can attain bhakti to Krishna beyond the gunas. When you do your occupation and do Shravan Kirtan, then you can get. Otherwise, they fall into adharma and cannot attain gradual progress. It is said, Vritya svabhava kritaya vartamana sokarma krit hitva svabhava jam karma shaner nirguna tamiyat. If one acts in his profession according to his nature, after gradually giving up his actions according to his nature, he attains the stage beyond the gunas, because he will purify himself through those actions. By the word nirguna, one should understand bhakti, as is stated in Bhagavatam. Tasma deham imam labdva jnana vijnana sambhavam guna sangam vinirdhuya mam bhajantu vichakshana. Therefore, having achieved this human form of life, which allows one to develop knowledge and realization through bhakti, those who are intelligent should free themselves from all contamination of the gunas and worship me. From the phrase nirgunam mat upashrayam, this is in also 11th canto of Bhagavatam, 4 verses earlier, it is established that what is produced from bhakti is nirguna, beyond gunas. Nich sango mam bhajet vidvan apramato jitendriya rajas tamas chabijayet sattva sansevaya muni. A wise sage, free from all material association and alert, should subdue his senses and worship me. As a preliminary, he should conquer rajas and tamas by engaging himself only with things in sattva. And to do your own occupational duty, even if you are Vaishya, if you do your occupational duty, that is the sign of Satya. You will come out from that Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Then from Satya Guna, you will get more consciousness and you will do Shravan Kirtan. Then you can come out from, yes, only this. One more verse I will read. Satam cha bijayet yukto nairapekshena shantadih sampadyate gunair mukto jivo jivam vihayamam. Krishna telling to Uddhava in 11th canto. Then, being fixed in bhakti, the sage should also conquer sattva by indifference toward it, arising from bhakti. When you do bhakti, then also you will come out from satya. Thus, pacified within his mind, the jiva, freed from the gunas, giving up the subtle body, attains me. The jiva can give up subtle body only by devotion. By jnana and karma it is not possible. And only by dying you will give up gross body, but with subtle body Atma will go to next one. And those tendencies will be there and the results of those actions you will have to reap like this. So by karma and jnana you cannot remove subtle body. Only it is possible by bhakti. And even by nama abhas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sang in that song. Tava swalpa spurti pai, ugra tapa dure jai, linga bhanga hoy anayase. O Harinam, if one gets even a glimpse of you, that glimpse of pure name, Namabhas. There are two Namabhas, one is Pratibimba, one is Chaya. So this Chaya Namabhas, which is in relation to that name, Tava Swalpa Spurtipa, even little glimpse, Ugra Tapa Dure Jai, the heavy miseries, they will go far away. And Linga Bhanga Hoy Anayase, subtle body will be destroyed, broken. Bhanga means broken, very easily. That is only by Namabhas of Harinam. So we have to chant Harinam, giving up all offenses and come to this and then to Shuddha Nam, pure name, to get Krishna Prema. Then we will get the ultimate goal of life. So we came up to here with Bhaktyaloka. Tomorrow is the appearance day of our Gurudev, Srila Narottam Thakur. We'll hear about him. Then I'm going to India. Then when Krishna wills, we can continue with this Bhaktyaloka. Last, this Sadhu Vritti, how sadhu, devotee should live in this world. Following in the footsteps of the sadhu, means devotees, how they live, we have to follow their way of living.